welcome to youth, everyone. You guys can find a spot to sit in. You guys, has everyone recovered from day away? For those who went, some of you still haven't recovered. In fact, when we were at Chick-fil-A for day away, you guys were literally yawning, saying, "I miss mommy and daddy. I want to go to bed." So. Oh, no, I asked, "Do you miss mommy and daddy?" And multiple raised their hands like, "Yes, I want to go home. I'm so tired." So I'm glad you guys have caught up on sleep since then. We're ready for a fun night. It's going to be amazing. Now that day away has passed, there's one event happening a week from, or 2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow. It is a serving opportunity, so we can have fun. We also can serve, and serving can be fun. So on the 28th, you guys are all invited to be a part of prepping for Easter here. How many of you guys love candy? Just, you like it, okay? Well, for Easter, there's going to be a bunch of candy for kids, and so we're going to prep that candy for Easter Sunday. Yes. It's okay. For Easter or for the prep? It's okay. And Easter. Okay. It's okay if you can't make it. If you can be there. And then we're also going to have food served afterwards. So you'll get a free meal out of it. It's going to be awesome. Also, one more thing. 2 weeks from tonight is midweek pause. So next week we will have youth. And then 2 weeks from tonight, we will not have youth. So just keep that on your radar. Plan accordingly. It's going to be a great Easter weekend. And that's why we're taking a pause that Wednesday. Okay, for the question of the week. Do not use your phones, okay? We don't like cheaters around here. According to Minnesota Health Fairview, what was the most popular, which means it was used the most amount of times, most popular boy name in 2023 in Minnesota? Do not use your phones.
Wait, no. John.
Not John.
Adam.
Not Adam.
Mark.
No.
Alex.
No. It starts, I'll give you guys a few more guesses and I'll give you like a hint if you haven't figured it out then.
Justin.
No.
Sarah.
No. Remember, it's for a boy, just to clarify. I mean, a boy, you could name their kid that.
Jackson.
No. Starts with a T.
Timothy. Thomas.
Kobe.
Titus.
Tristan.
Taylor.
Taylor could be used for guys or girls.
Tom.
Theodore.
It is Theodore. Hunter beat you guys to it. Does anyone know a Theodore in real life? Like you know someone. Okay, a few guys, yeah. That was the most popular. The second name, which apparently these two have kind of flip-flopped for the last couple years, the second name is Henry. Anyone know a Henry? Okay. Hopefully by the time you guys have kids, there's some like new trending names because I don't know how long we could do Theodore and Henry. Cute names, but come on. Okay, we're going to get into the game tonight. You need to break out into groups of 2, and Sarah's going to give your group a piece of paper. So everyone needs to find a buddy, groups of 2, and you need to collect a piece of paper from Sarah. Sarah can just come up here if you want. And you'll need to grab a pen. There's plenty of pens back there by the journals. Find a partner, a buddy. Grab a piece of paper, only one per team. Micah, only one per team. And grab a pen. If you need a buddy, there's Hunter's back there if you need a buddy. Hunter says if you want to win, go be his buddy. Just one. And you need a pen. So Tendo and Luke, y'all need to go get a pen. There's pens back there by the journals. So is it Kate and Sydney? Ava and who? Ava and Callie? Who's Callie's partner? Okay. If you need a buddy, Sarah can be your buddy. I only have prizes for 2, so I need you in groups of 2. You might. Sarah could be your buddy. You're going to find out. Sarah's right here. You can just come stand by her. Okay, your teams need to come and sit in the front. We need to be able to see your teams. And you're not going to be running or racing at all, so don't worry about that, but we need to be able to see your teams. You can sit down, you can find a spot to sit, but we need to be able to see you in the front here. Ava and Sarah, you guys are going to be buddies for this. Anyone else need a pen in the back? There's pens by the journals. Johnny and Chris, you guys got to come up here so we can see you guys. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Hunter, do you have a partner or no? Okay, I'll have you over here too. Okay, I'm going to explain the rules and how this game works, but listen very closely right now. Hunter, Ellie, and Pete are going to be walking around. If you use your phone for this game, you're automatically out, you're done. So no using phones. They're going to just be making sure, because you could easily use your phone, but we don't want that. We want you actually to use the brain that God has given you and guess and have fun with this game. Okay, if you will put the instruction slide on the game. Okay. Actually, could you go to the title of the game? I'm so sorry. Most popular baby names in 2023. We're doing the top 10 girls, the top 10 boys. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to write on your piece of paper, boy, and then a category for girls. We're going to put 10 names that are boys, 10 names that are girls up on the screen. They are not in order of 1 to 10. You're going to have to put them in order of what your team thinks is the top. So for number 1, that's the name you think is the most popular, all the way down to 10, which would be the least popular. There's going to be girls and guy names. If you get it correct when we put the answer up at the end, for every one you get correct, you will get 2 points. For every name, you are off by 1. So if you put a name in 6th place and it's really in 7th, then you'll get 1 point because you're off by 1. You get 2 points if it's in the right place. Any questions? Yes. If it's completely off, 0 points. Any other questions? Yep, so there's a category for boy and girl, so you might want to divide your paper like category boy and girl. Again, there's going to be 10 names for guys, 10 names for girls up there. They are not in order. This is what you have to put them in order, okay? No using your phones. If they see you using your phones, they're actually going to walk around now and just kind of observe. And then if they feel like you're using your phone or they see you, you're out. Okay, you can put the names up. We're going to give you guys about 5 minutes. Those are the names. You have to put them in order. Work as a team, because maybe your other half knows something you don't. I'm just going to start saying the girls' names. Sophia, Luna, Emma. Is that Mia or Maya? Mia? We'll go with Mia. Ava, Olivia, Amelia, Isabella, Evelyn, and Charlotte. I feel like there's a lot of us in that list. A lot of us. For boy names, we got Mateo, Levi, Luca, Leo, Oliver, Ezra, Liam, Noah, Elijah, and Lucas, and oh my gosh, how many L names can we have? Okay. So if you guys want to go walk around and just keep making sure they're staying on task, go ahead, guys. You have 4.5 minutes left. Okay, we'll give you guys a minute and a half left. A minute and a half. Work together. Work together. There are some cute names up there. I'm already getting inspo for way down the road from now, guys. But some cute names up there. Imagine Elijah and Evelyn both being up there. And their siblings in real life. Their parents had this way ahead of time. A little under a minute left. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I know I'm going really slow. You're welcome. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you guys, pens up. I think that's how you say it, pens up. Before we go into counting it. Actually, for the winner, you will have to bring your paper up at the end when you've counted up your points, and we want to see that you didn't erase any, you're very honest. Okay, raise your hand if you didn't get them all done, but you did as many as you could. Did everyone get them all done? Almost? Okay. Go ahead and put the slide up. You guys are done. No more writing. This is the correct order of most popular in 2023. We've got Olivia, Emma, Amelia, Sophia, Charlotte, Ava, Isabella, Mia? Is that what we decided? Luna and Evelyn. And then we got Noah, Liam, Oliver, Elijah, Mateo, Lucas, Levi, Leo, Ezra, and Luca. Now go ahead and use the point system we used. 2 points if it's in the right spot, 1 point if it's off 1. 0 points if it's wrong. Go ahead and add your points. When you have your points added up and you think you probably won, you can make your way up here and we're going to count to the points together. You guys know the saying is true. When you have a baby and you're getting ready to name your baby, let's say you're pregnant, you realize how many people you really don't like when you start looking at baby names. I'm just saying. You're like, oh, I know someone that name. Nope, pass. It's interesting. It's very interesting. When you are done tallying up your points, you can make your way to the front and we will see if you won. So you could get a max of 40 points, which is incredible if you got them all. Sam and Sam, how'd you do? There's still. What about Toby and Micah? That's pretty good. Did you? Sheesh. Okay. Guys, how you doing over here? I'm sorry. Are you guys done? How many points? 8. Okay. So far, you guys are winning. What do you guys have? I'm just curious. 14. Okay. Okay. We're going to start seeing points. What was your? Anyone have 16 or more? 16 or more wrong. All right. 16 or more right. But you can get double. Did you guys count your points correctly then? Okay, we're just seeing. I'm thinking you guys might have actually won. And here you're thinking, oh, I did bad. But no, you actually might have won. How many do you guys get? Kate? Okay. Luke and Tendo are still counting. Are you guys done? Nick? 7? Last time you picked Pete as a partner. I'm just saying. I'm kidding. Eli? Okay, hold on. One team's still counting. If they beat you guys, but I don't know if they did. They're counting, and then if they probably didn't. You guys are probably going to get the point. Okay. We're going to give it to Sam and Sam. Way to go, you guys. Did you get more guy names right or girl names? Okay, that's amazing. You guys can grab these gift cards. They got 16 points. You guys can go ahead, put your pens back. You guys can go ahead and put your pens back if you're not taking notes, and throw away your pieces of paper and go find a spot to sit down. Yeah, go ahead and find a chair to sit in. Anyone have a favorite name they saw up there that you liked the most? Ava. Ava likes the name Ava. You like Ava's name? Evelyn. Yeah, some of your names are up there and you're like, that's my favorite. There was actually quite a few cute boy names up there, I must admit. Okay, we are going to continue in our series tonight. This is technically part 3. Raise your hand if you are a day away. Raise your hand if you're a day away. Okay, so you guys were here for part 2. If you weren't here for day away, this is technically part 2 for you, but part 3 for this series. Okay, so last Wednesday, we read an account in the New Testament where when Jesus showed up, what happened? Anyone remember? There was a girl who was dead, and then there was a woman who had suffered from bleeding, and what did Jesus do for those people? He healed them. So when Jesus shows up, healing happens. On Saturday, we read an account of when Jesus showed up, this man who had suffered from demons for a long time, and we read the whole account. What happened when Jesus showed up? Does anyone remember? Yeah. And then what did Jesus do for this man by the end of the story? He brought freedom. Yeah, he's like, bye-bye, and then they win. Yeah, so this man, Legion, he experienced freedom. Incredible. And tonight we're going to see what Jesus does when he shows up. You can open your Bibles to Luke chapter 19, verse 1. Luke chapter 19, verse 1. Okay. Jesus entered Jericho and made his way through the town. There was a man there named Zacchaeus. Anyone know real-life Zacchaeus? You do? Okay, I was like, whoa, that's amazing. Okay. Hey, if you want to name your son Zacchaeus, you go for it. Okay, pay attention. There was a man there named Zacchaeus. He was the chief tax collector in the region, and he had become very rich. He tried to get a look at Jesus, but he was too short to see over the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore fig tree beside the road, for Jesus was going to pass that way. When Jesus came by, he looked up at Zacchaeus and called him by name. Zacchaeus, he said, quick, come down. I must be a guest in your home today. Zacchaeus quickly climbed down and took Jesus to his house in great excitement and joy. Okay, we're just going to pause right now. Anyone ever have your parent say, hey, I need you to make your bed, or I need us to get the dishes done, or put your toys away, or let's get the laundry finished? Like, you guys are trying to rush out of the house, and mom or dad are saying those things. Anyone ever have that happen? Okay, some of you. You guys never know when someone is going to come over to your house. Okay, so there's always this, like, last minute, someone surprising you, whatever. Just always have your house ready for someone to come over, okay? So if mom or dad are like, hey, make your bed, just make it, okay? You don't want grandma walking in and, like, your bed's a mess, and it's just kind of weird, okay? If your parents want the dishes done before you leave, I'll just help with the dishes, no big deal, okay? But you never know when someone's going to come over to your house. So just be prepared. Verse 7, pay attention. But the people, when they saw that Zacchaeus was going to go with Jesus to Zacchaeus' house, the people were displeased. He has gone to be the guest of a notorious sinner, they grumbled. Meanwhile, Zacchaeus stood before the Lord and said, I will give half my wealth to the poor, Lord, and if I've cheated people on their taxes, I will give them back 4 times as much. Jesus responded, salvation has come to this home today, for this man has shown himself to be a true son of Abraham. In verse 10, for the Son of Man came to seek and to save those who were lost. When Jesus shows up in this account, sinners are loved. And in this account specifically, Zacchaeus was loved. Did you guys know that when Jesus walked the earth, Micah and Luke and Nick, when Jesus walked the earth, he made people really upset because he loved the sinners, the people that they thought, like, how could you spend time with them or how could you love them? Jesus loved those people. And so he made the religious people really upset. And they were just like super, they couldn't believe that Jesus would do this. And what's also crazy is when Jesus explained to them, like, I came so that those who are sick, whether it's like real sickness or spiritual sickness, when I came so that those who are sick can get healed. I didn't come for those who are healthy. I came for those who need me. I came to save those who are lost and who need a savior. I didn't come for those who have already found their way. And even though Jesus explained the why behind why he loved sinners, the religious people still rejected that he would accept them. And they just rejected his actions to loving the sinners. But for these sinners, and Zacchaeus is one of those in this account, for the sinners, the people who chose to live a life of sinning whenever they wanted, Jesus, he loved them. He spent time with them. He invited them into conversations with him. He invited them into his life. He's like, if you want to follow me, like, let's do things. Let's make people known and loved throughout all of the areas that he was teaching. He talked to them. Did you know that sinners were kind of seen as less thans and you wouldn't associate yourself? If there was someone there who you knew was a sinner, you wouldn't talk to them. You just ignore them. But Jesus, he talked to them and he invited them into his life. So in this account, we find a man named Zacchaeus, and he was a tax collector, which really, do you know what that means? Yeah, he was a wealthy thief, okay? People knew what he did and what he that he stole. So he was a wealthy thief. And he would cheat people, on their taxes. And so when Zacchaeus heard that Jesus was making his way through Jericho, he was like, man, I got to look at Jesus. I am sure Zacchaeus had heard of Jesus raising people from the dead, of Jesus healing people who were sick, of Jesus freeing people who were in captive and bondage. I'm sure he had heard that Jesus was teaching words that people had never heard before, and they were amazing. And so Zacchaeus is like, I just got to get a look. I just got to get a look at Jesus, okay? Raise your hand if you've ever seen someone famous before. Like, you just wanted to, like, even if you were in a distance, you're like, I want to look at them. Like, they're pretty cool, right? Okay. Evelyn, who have you seen? I'm just curious. Do you know? Yeah, like in real life. Even just at concert. Go ahead. Toby Mac. Anyone else seen Toby Mac before? In, like, real life? I don't think I actually ever have, but anyone else? Like, you'd say, I saw this famous person in real life. Anyone else want to share their high moment? Eli, did you see Toby Mac too? Yeah. Who else did you see? That's amazing. Micah, who did you see? No? Callie saw NF. Anyone ever seen NF in real life, like at a concert? That's pretty amazing. I know you guys probably don't care. Wes, who do you see? Sheesh. That's amazing. Nick, what about you? Who's the most famous person you've seen in person? Okay. That's pretty amazing. Tanda? You saw all the Timberwolves team members in person. I know you guys don't care, but on my bucket list, you guys know who I want to see in real life? MCDC. You guys don't even know who that is. It's the head coach of Detroit Lions. Like, if I get to see him in person, y'all, I would maybe cry. I don't know. That's maybe exaggerating a little bit, but I really genuinely want to see him. But okay, back to the story. Zacchaeus wanted to see Jesus. He wanted to just look at him. And so Zacchaeus got creative because he couldn't see Zacchaeus over the crowd. Okay, front row. I know you guys are super excited. I need you guys to focus, okay? He couldn't see Jesus, so he decided to climb a tree. Raise your hand if that would have been your first, like, yeah, I'm climbing a tree because I can't see Jesus. No, that wouldn't be mine. Some of you, it would be. He was so creative. And he thought, if I could just get in this tree, I could get some height above this crowd, and if I could just see Jesus, maybe something would happen. Like, maybe, just maybe. And so he gets into the tree, and he climbs up, and the next thing that happens, I want you guys to just pay attention to for a minute, is once he was in this tree and Jesus kept walking, Jesus looked up. Now, of course, Jesus, in all of his wisdom, power, and knowledge, he knew Zacchaeus was there. But Jesus, he looked up. And I want to just encourage you guys tonight, because Zacchaeus was loved and he was a sinner, the very first thing that Jesus did in this account is that he looked up and he acknowledged him. And he looked at him. And he was like, Zacchaeus, which we'll get to that point in a second. But you guys, I would just challenge you, there are people around you, whether it's actually in this room right now, at your school, whether it's your siblings, your friends on your sports team, whatever, there are people around you who need to be loved. And sometimes it just starts with you looking at them and acknowledging their existence. And I totally get it. Sometimes our eyes are focused on a lot of other things. But Jesus, he simply just looked up and he changed Zacchaeus' life. And he was never the same because he looked up at him. So maybe tomorrow at school or Wednesday at youth or whatever, like, you can just look up and look at someone and be like, hey, how are you doing? Hey, would you want to sit by me during service or during class? Can you guys pick where you sit in classes, or is it assigned? Sometimes. Okay, if it isn't assigned, that's a great one. Or like, hey, how are you doing tonight? Like, genuinely, how are you doing? Or Tendo could ask his mom, like, hey, Mom, I know you've had a rough day, but, like, how can I pray for you? So if you guys could just, all of us, we could look up and look at someone and acknowledge them. It's incredible what can happen from that. After looking up, Jesus called Zacchaeus by name. Does anyone know what the name Zacchaeus actually means? You guys are going to be shocked. It means innocent and pure. Ironically, Zacchaeus, what was he? So his name meant he was innocent and pure, but was he like a wealthy thief? Yes, he was. But like Jesus, like, it's amazing that Jesus still saw potential in him even when he was at his worst. Okay, I need someone who thinks they can answer this, and if they can't, then we're just going to continue on. Does anyone in here think they can name everyone in this room? You can name every single person in this room. Anyone? We're talking about the power of a name. Hunter. The name they like to be called. It's okay if nobody does. I'm just curious, like genuinely curious. I feel like you're not confident enough. You're like, I don't know. Okay. This kind of proves my point exactly. Evelyn, do you feel like you can name a lot of people because you see them often, or just because you can remember from like a long time ago meeting them maybe? Kind of both, a little bit. Tendo, how many people in this room do you think you could name? Half? All? Like 70%. Okay. Sam, what about you? Yeah. Almost everybody. Kate, what about you? Like, what percentage in this room? 50%? Okay. Johnny, what about you? 84%. Okay. You guys, I can name everyone, which I should, right? Hi, Noah. Welcome. I do talk to everybody. But see, that's kind of my point. Like, You have conversations with people, you get to know their name, you get to know more about their life. You can call them like, hey, Carly, how's it going? Instead of, hey, how's it going? I don't remember your name. I know we've met before, right? So here's my challenge to you guys. Tendo, Luke, Evelyn, Nick, I know you guys just love each other so much. Not in a weird way, okay? My challenge for you guys is to learn more people's names of those here in youth group. Maybe even take it to the classroom setting. I don't know how well you guys know your peers at school, but if you're homeschooled, I'm sorry. Get to know the names of your siblings if you forget them often. But the power of a name is incredible, and Zacchaeus was called by name by Jesus. Okay, here's what else I'm going to leave you with tonight. Jesus, when he entered into Zacchaeus' life, Zacchaeus wanted to change. Wes, Zacchaeus, he wanted to change. He didn't want to be the same wealthy thief that he had been for so long. How much percentage, or how many times the money he stole did he want to give back to the people he took it from? 4 times. Y'all, he had to be rich if he could give back 4 times what he originally took. Yes, he was a wealthy thief. He had gotten rich because he was a thief, which is kind of crazy. He didn't want to be the same wealthy thief that he was prior to meeting Jesus. He wanted to be more like Jesus, and he wanted to give back what he had taken. Raise your hand if you ever stole something, like maybe from a cousin, a sibling, a store. Okay. Yeah, he was a wealthy thief. He didn't want to live that life anymore because Jesus changed who he was when he came into the story. Okay, I'm going to leave you guys with this tonight. Clara, Evelyn, I'm going to leave you guys with this. If you want to, how do I say this? If you want to have influence with people around you, I would start by loving them. If you want to make your school better, raise your hand if you think school just kind of sucks. If you want to make your school better, it literally cannot hurt to love people and love your peers and love your teachers. I know teachers can feel like the enemy sometimes. They're not. If you want to make life with your siblings better, love them. If you want to honor Jesus with your choices, love those around you. It can start by just acknowledging them and knowing their name. If you guys want to stand up, I'm going to pray for you tonight. And then we are going to move on to small groups. And then after that, you guys can play 9 Square when your small groups is dismissed. If you guys would bow your heads with me, I'm just going to pray. Thanks, God, for tonight. Thank you for these students. We love you, and we pray that we would be individuals who look up and just look around at people who need a friend or need someone to talk with them. And Lord, I pray that we would also learn the names of people who really maybe are lonely and just need someone to acknowledge them by their name. We thank you for tonight and for this time together. In your name I pray. Amen. Hey guys.
It's a paper